Hey guys, and welcome to Mikey the Macaw and Friends. So basically, this is a video I never thought I'd actually make. Believe it or not, I had no idea what a macaw was up until the morning we got Mikey. Yep, he was an impulse buy. Claire's been in love with him her entire life. We woke up one morning, very spur of the moment. I was like, hey, big, crazy, loud, colourful bird. I'm sure we can take this responsibility. So, today we are going to do something a little bit different. Yes, I know you're probably looking forward to a cute song, or dance, or narrated video of some sort, but the amount of messages we have gotten from people just saying, wow, you guys breezed through your first month, wow, Mikey's so amazing, I'm going to get a macaw, or would love to have one of those birds. I'm asking my mum to buy me a macaw. He's absolutely amazing, I'm not going to lie, especially when they are very, very good like now. Yeah. But there's a couple of things which you really need to know. Hey, that our first month video looked pretty relaxed and chilled, but we showed all the good stuff. And if we would have watched one of these videos pre-hand, our first kind of year would have been a lot more smooth sailing. Let's start. Firstly, the initial cost of these birds. Alright, they're not the cheapest things in the world, but if you are having trouble putting together funds to actually buy this bird originally, I would strongly suggest you do not buy a macaw. Just based on that initial cost is going to be nothing compared to absolutely everything you are going to have to pay for over the next 60 to 80 years of your life if you can actually live that long. There's the food, there's the fresh fruit and veg, upkeep with where they're going to live, cages, aviaries, buy them toys. There's absolutely everything you have to replace once they ruin it. Make them toys. You need to have a couple of pennies spare if you are buying one of these beautiful creatures. Purchasing that beautiful bird. Now, as adorable, and I mean adorable, as those babies are, I spend my days watching baby macaws and they are ridiculous. But you shouldn't encourage breeding. There is so many of these poor birds who people just buy and they get rehomed because people can't look after them and they get stressed and they pluck and they get miserable because they've had like 10 homes in like 10 years and it's not good at all. So why don't you be a great person and be one of those people who actually take them in? Instead of going to a breeder, please try find a rescue center or adopt one. We adopted Mikey from a guy who bought him as a baby and just couldn't look after him. He was like, wow, what did I do? This commitment is crazy. We saw him, we weren't actually even keen on him. Are these birds loud, you ask? Yes, they're probably the loudest animal I have ever heard in my life. As I said, we adopted Mikey. Now, when we went to view him, we literally said no. He did this one big squawk and you couldn't touch him and he was just this big, angry looking bird and we were like, no. And then we got home and we were like, wait, he's stuck in this tiny cage and he's angry for a reason. We gotta save this bird. So here we go. Now, we live with flatmates. We're in a 6-bedroom house with 4 others. Mikey's even got his own room. They hate us so much on a Saturday and Sunday morning where they're lying in bed and this beautiful boy is screaming his head off looking at birds flying around in the backyard. Unless you really want to piss some people off, don't get him a macaw. Now, you're going to take your bird home. What are you going to do with it? You're probably going to put it into one of those tiny little cages. Please do not do that. That's what we did when we got Mikey and he sat there and he was so sad. If you are going to get a beautiful bird like this, don't put them in a cage where they can literally just spread their wings. Sort out something else. Give your bird a whole room with Java stands or something. If you can, big outdoor aviary. That is our ultimate goal once we have a place big enough with a massive backyard. At the moment, he's got his room, which we've built him an aviary in. It works. We've netted our entire backyard so we can go outside and hang out. It's still not good enough in our eyes. We want to do something way more epic and way better that's indoor and outdoor and crazy, but just do not put your bird in a small cage. And I know everyone who does do that basically says, oh, but they're only in that cage when I'm not home. Hey, but do you work? Do you go out? Do you have somewhat of a social life? I know most macaw owners have to cut them down to another level. Like, if they were built for humans, they would be smaller than the smallest jail cell in the world. Like, these birds can basically stretch their wings out and that's it. That's just animal cruelty, don't do it. Alright, now I'm going to go on to time. The amount of time that these birds need is ridiculous. Now, if you just have one bird, they are going to need a lot more time as you are their sole companions. Make sure you have a sufficient amount of time with zero social life where you actually can take care of these beautiful birds. Give that bird time and attention and teach him things. These birds are so super intelligent and emotional as well. We are lucky enough that Claire and I both work jobs where we can kind of choose our own hours, choose when we work. We alternate our hours so he gets as much attention as he can. If I start early, she'll start late, and so on. We take days off in the middle of the week. We spend every single weekend with him. We don't go out together much at all anymore, which is crazy. We're a couple in our late 20s. I mean, we should be having fun and going out, but we realize if we go out and leave this poor bird at home, he's literally going to sit there and get sad. And that's the last thing we want. And this is a commitment we have made, so we're going to stick to it. The odd occasion we'll go out, we'll put a movie on for him, very, very, very rarely. He's got a laptop in his room. When we go on holiday, there's no such thing as a bird sitter. You got to check them into like a proper bird hotel, and that's probably going to cost you as much as a plane ticket to wherever you are going to go. And I'm from New Zealand, living in London. I can't actually live in New Zealand again with this bird. It's illegal. All my friends and all my family, I will never be able to live with ever again. Hey, what can you do, right? The commitment for one of these. So, think about that before you go out and buy yourself a bird. Now when it comes to food, now when we got Mikey, like I said, we knew nothing. We just gave him a bunch of seeds for probably 6 to 8 months. It wasn't good. I'm surprised he doesn't have fatty liver disease and he's not dead. We learnt eventually from the beautiful bird community out there, like you guys probably watching this, there is so much more. So now, fresh fruit and veg every single day. We go to shopping, we go to organic places. We literally buy about 15 different fruit and veg and change it up over a week, and he absolutely loves it. Along with pellets now, we've completely cut seeds out of his diet and he gets nuts as treats, don't you? Next up, destruction. Boom! One button down, and more will come. As I mentioned earlier on the cost of these birds, you are going to either have to fix everything in your house or just live in an absolute dump. If I go to the toilet to take a piss, he comes with me. If he's here, he is going to eat everything. There's your door frames, there is your beds, there is your carpet. Yes, he's gonna eat your carpet and destroy it. He's gonna remove pieces of rubber from the shower. He's going to literally destroy everything he can see. Because why? That's what macaws do. So, if you thought, hey, even my face. This TV right here is our third flat screen in our bedroom that has been cracked. Now this one here is still watchable, so we'll roll with it, but it's gonna get to a point where these lines are just gonna go absolutely crazy through it, but what can you do? We bought a bird, we understand this stuff. So if you thought, hey, I'm in need to start a very, very slow demolition in my house, but just don't have the money to do that, buy yourself a macaw. Now, probably one of my most important points. These birds here, I'm not too sure if you have noticed, but they have wings. Beautiful wings. Don't do anything to them. These birds fly. They actually fly. I don't know why people go out there wanting a bird, wanting an animal that actually flies, and then think, hey, let's clip his wings so he doesn't fly. Like, there's 1,000 animals in the world that don't fly. Now I know I'm gonna get a little bit of stick on this, which I don't really care, because there is so many of you out there who think you are doing the right thing, where you're like, hey, but my bird's flying into walls, it's for his own safety. I love my bird too much, I don't want him to fly away. I mean, shut your windows. Train your bird to fly. We've been training Mikey since we basically got him just to maneuver his way around the house, so he doesn't do that. When we went and viewed him, he flew into a window. We're like, we don't want that. Every day, we are literally doing recall with him. We want him to one day be able to free fly. We're in the park every second day. We're in our backyard so we can enjoy some sunlight, because these birds shouldn't be inside all day anyway. But if anyone says clipping birds' wings is needed and it's something you have to do, I mean, like I said, I had no idea what a macaw was. This is 18 months ago. I'm not a bird expert of any sort. I'm just letting you guys know what I've basically learnt over the last 18 months. So, hey, maybe bird clipping is needed. Now you may ask, what is the reason why anyone wants to basically go through all of this kind of stress and effort and time? I mean, it's like having a kid for the rest of your life. Well, if you asked me this literally before we got him, I would have been like, nah, let's not get him, but guess what? You love them. You buy these beautiful birds, in the first month or two they annoy you so much, but once that bond happens, and you are literally inseparable, and they love you, and you can see that, and you love them. I mean, I wouldn't know what I would do without this beautiful bird. You actually just love to care for them. You love giving these birds a decent life. We can't release these birds to the wild. They're not going to basically survive being raised in captivity. In the end of the day, they never chose to be pets. It's our job to basically give them the best possible life we can. Isn't that right?